Hey everyone, and welcome to RUBIN'S Mind Lab, where we break down the latest research into what it really means. Ever wonder why you can't seem to put your phone down even when you want to? This new study might have a clue. It turns out a lot of teenagers struggle with managing their social media use. They know they spend too much time, but they just keep doing it. Why is that? This study dives into exactly that. The big question here is, can we help teens break this phone habit by making it just a tiny bit harder to open those apps? Researchers wondered if adding a small pause or a little thinking moment right when you go to open an app could actually make a difference. So how did they test this? They got over 250 teenagers in Denmark between 13 and 17 years old. To help out, they basically turned their phones into little apps. For 6 whole weeks, the researchers tracked everything these teens did on their phones, every single time they tried to open a social media app. This gave them a massive amount of data, over 1 million interactions. After an initial 2-week observation period, the teens were split into 3 groups. Each group got a different kind of interruption. When they tried to open a social media app, one group got prompts to think about why they were opening the app. Another group had to plan how long they wanted to use the app before opening it. And the third group just had to wait for a few seconds. And here's where it gets really interesting. The 2 groups that had to plan their usage or wait for a few seconds saw their social media time drop significantly by about a third. The group that just got prompts to reflect on their feelings or intentions, well, that didn't really change anything. So how did they cut down on screen time? It wasn't by making their sessions shorter. It was mostly by them trying to open apps less often in the first place. And when they did try to open an app and got that little prompt, they were way more likely to just close it and not open the app at all. This means when they did decide to use social media, they tended to have fewer but longer sessions. Instead of lots of quick little checks, it suggests they were shifting from automatic habits to more thoughtful usage. Now, this is super important. Even though they were spending less time on social media, their happiness, their satisfaction with their lives, and how connected they felt to others didn't go down. That is a huge win for these interventions. So what is the big takeaway from all this? It is that adding even small moments of decision making, right, when you are about to jump onto social media, can actually have a big impact on how much you use it. It shows that these habits aren't destiny. Think about it. Apps are designed to be super easy to open and use a few seconds here and there. And suddenly you've spent an hour. The researchers are saying that by adding a tiny bit of friction or a moment to pause, users can actually start to override that automatic impulse. It is like putting a gatekeeper at the door of your phone apps. Before it was just walking in whenever you wanted. Now it is like you have to stop and think, okay, do I really want to go in right now? And for a lot of these teens, that little pause was enough to remember they actually wanted to be using their phone, less it gave them a chance to make a different choice than their habit would normally dictate. This isn't just about social media. This could apply to a lot of things online, like gaming, online shopping, even using AI tools that are designed to keep you engaged. The idea is that when access is too easy, we can get trapped in habits we don't even want. Interestingly, they found that different kinds of interventions work better for different people. For teens who struggle more with self-control, the planning prompts were super helpful. For those who already have decent self-control, the waiting periods help them even more. Now, no study is perfect. The researchers point out that because people volunteered for this study, the results might be a bit more optimistic than if it was something everyone had to do. They also can't be totally sure if teens switch to other apps or activities not being tracked, but overall the findings are still pretty strong. So the amount of time saved might be a little bit less in the real world for a general population, but the fact that it worked this well for volunteers is very promising. What this all boils down to is that we don't necessarily need to tell kids to completely quit social media or block apps. Entirely making small changes at the point of access can be a really powerful and scalable way to help people manage their digital habits. It's about teaching them to be more mindful users. So what do I think about this research? It's fascinating because it really dives deep into how our phone habits work, and more importantly, how we can gently nudge ourselves to change them without feeling totally deprived. The idea that a few seconds of waiting or a quick thought can make such a big difference is powerful. The fact that, well, being didn't suffer is a huge deal too. The main weakness is that voluntary participation might inflate the effect size as mentioned. But that is a common challenge in this kind of research. The good news is that the interventions are so simple you could try them yourself right now. For future research, it would be cool to see if these effects last long term and how they might work for different age groups and in different cultures. But for now, this study gives us some really actionable insights into managing our digital lives. More intentionally, what do you guys think about this research? Have you ever tried using an app like 1 sec to limit your screen time? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to RUBIN'S Mind Lab for more breakdowns of fascinating science. See you next time.